All right, now we have to jump in that topic that nobody enjoys dealing with, but is one of the main reasons why supervisors and managers make more money than the rest of the folks. And that is because they have to deal with the unhappy personality types that come up in regular life. Now, for the workplace environment, we've gone and looked at different problematic types, and we've broken them down into four common personalities. And they are called the flare up, the old fight or flight, the proud bully, and the borderline. And some of these behaviors out of each of these four different types of people, the behaviors themselves may look very similar, but the supervisor who is keen on behaviors, communication styles, and reading people's energy will have a different take or opinion on what their intentions are. And if the supervisor doesn't, maybe getting input from the team itself will help. So when we talk about somebody who's a flare-up, this type of person normally does something out of frustration. They have a temper flare-up out of frustration. It's not directed towards any individual. It's not physical or verbal assault on people. It's just a temper tantrum, sometimes mad at themselves, and they go stomping away. Sometimes you can talk to the person about it to make sure they're okay, and they'll calm down in the future just out of embarrassment as far as being talked to. Or maybe you will want to investigate what led up to that situation and see if you can prevent it in the future. Then we have the old fight or flight. These type of people want to throw it down, it seems like, at the slightest provocation. They're very negative. They take everything, every suggestion as somewhat of an attack. And this maybe it'll come from you or management, maybe it comes from their peers. They're just very sensitive that way, and it comes out in an argument or an aggressive behavior. These types of folks do need to be spoken with as soon as possible and coached on how to deal with those situations. And then in the follow-ups, if you determine that they're not responding to the training, in most cases, it's best to terminate them. Then we have the proud bully. These people are something else. They will do something aggressive or insulting towards someone, and a lot of times they just follow it up with, oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just putting you on. That doesn't make the situation or the other person feel any better. So that has to be nipped in the butt immediately. Now, you're going to want to watch your delivery style because you're going to have to deliver that message in a way that's clear and concise, but also in a way that they will respond to. That's what the supervisor and manager has to develop. That communication style actually becomes somewhat of an art form after a while. Then we have the borderline. The borderline is a person who tends to have the flare-ups, or they might seem like they're a bully of some sort, but their intent is always good. And this will be reflected in statements from the people that were affected by their behavior or your own observations. You're like, geez, that guy comes in like a bull in a china shop. A lot of times it can be the go-getters of the group. They just storm in, grab a project, and take off. They're a little bit easier to deal with because their intentions are good and they're not working with an insecurity or anything like that. So you're going to have to coach them. Number 1 and number 4 are probably the easiest folks to coach. Number 2 would be the next easiest. And the most difficult person that I found is the proud bully. They're actually proud of their strength and their pride, and they're not going to be pushed around or no one's going to change me type of attitude. It's a real pain in the rump. So when we come back from break, we're actually going to jump into this topic a lot deeper than this introduction has done. So we'll see you in a few minutes.